We're speaking about the guarding the shield of Avram. I would also suggest that to the degree that a person learns the deeper part of Torah, and that he learns Chassidus and Kabbalah, it will help him to identify that his soul is so eternal, and that yes, no matter what happens, my soul is intact. There are things that could create problems around the soul, but to know the deeper you go into learning, the soul is so good, is so pure. The soul is so good, is so pure. And that happens through learning more Kabbalistic ideas. Any other shilas, my dear friends?
I think you asked the chat kind of stuff.
I'm just wondering, what's the source, like, where can you find information about the energy of the months in your calendar?
The Bnei Yisachar. The Bnei Yisachar, which is based on the Sefer Yetzirah. The Sefer Yetzirah is considered maybe the greatest book of Kabbalah ever written. There's a discussion if it was written by Avram Avinu, by Abraham, or it was written by Adam Rishon.
So,
Rabbi Akiva. So there's an idea that these are Gilgulim, that these are also, all of our souls were inside of Adam Rishon. All of our souls were inside of Adam. Adam Rishon was the ultimate neshama koilelis. He was the ultimate soul that included all the souls. And that's why when Adam and Chava ate, we went through this cosmic trauma, like bad. And we're still fixing that trauma. So the Bnei Yisachar, based on the Sefer Yetzirah, you should really get the Bnei Yisachar. He goes through all the Hebrew months, and with such systematic precision explains all the nature of the months. Bezrat Hashem. At Kedai, Bnei Yisachar. It's very, very good. Yeah, Dan.
Coming back to what you were saying about Adam, I think that the root of his name is linked to Edem or Adem, which means a lot, right? Like, or too much, right? Is there like, I read something about that, the fact that the name Adam was linked to a Hebrew word that meant a lot or too much, and that he represented over...
Adam's a very, it's a very powerful name. Adam, we generally say, is linked to either Adameh Elyon, that I am like, Domeh, Adameh, I am like Elyon, that the angels thought that Adam was God. The angels started to bring korbanos to Adam. They brought sacrifices before Adam. They thought that he was God. And they mistakenly saw him as this exalted being, which he was. So Adam, which is us, we are Adameh Elyon. We are like the exalted ones. So Adameh Elyon, we are like the exalted ones. The other understanding is that Adamah is that Adam is the same word as Adamah, which means like earth. That we are both exalted. We're all the way up there, but we're also Adamah. We're also, we are made out of earth. And we're going, so we have these two parts. So we're half angel and half animal. The human being, the Adam, is half angel and half animal. So part of us is the most exalted being ever. The other part of us is basically just a chimpanzee. And we lie somewhere in the middle, which is essentially, will I choose to be angelic, or will I choose to just be a chimpanzee? That's really where the free will of the human being comes in. And it's up to us. How do I want to identify? Nice seeing people from Texas, Paris. The Blue Surfer is asking about Torah reading tropes. So yes, Torah reading tropes is a very, very important part of reading the Torah, which is something that's unique, is that you can't even read the Torah without it. Because how do you move the letters? What's the song? What's the movement? The Torah doesn't say anywhere in the Torah what a letter is, first of all. It doesn't say any vowelization. So you can't move in Torah learning. And this is an important point to point out. Sometimes people ask, so I think I accept the Bible, I accept the written Torah. Nikki, good to have you. I accept the written Torah, but you know what, that oral tradition, I don't know about that one. There's only one problem. You can't have a written Torah without an oral tradition. You can't even read the Torah. So somebody comes up to you on the street and said, what do you say about this verse in Ezekiel, in Isaiah 53? So the first thing you have to say to them is, who taught you how to read the verse? How do you read the verse? Usually the first thing that you could speak to them about is, what about the oral tradition? No. Well, okay, let's slow down. How did you read the verse in Isaiah 53? How do you read the verse? So I'll say, I had a teacher, I went to a seminary of rabbinic learning. Oh, you got an oral tradition, how to read it, right? Well, where did your teacher learn it from? Well, I don't know, his teacher, I guess. And from Moshe Rabbeinu. And where did Moshe get it from? From Hashem at Har Sinai. That the written Torah goes together with the oral tradition. You cannot have a written Torah without an oral transmission accompanying it. Oh. When will Mashiach come? The answer is, Murathen, that we have to believe the Mashiach could come right now. Mashiach should come today. I'll tell you that one of the rabbis, Rabbi Yeshua, saw Elijah the prophet in the marketplace. And Elijah the prophet is famous for being the one that will bring Mashiach. So he asked Elijah the prophet, he said, when's Mashiach coming? So what did Elijah respond? So Elijah said, go ask Mashiach yourself. He's sitting in the gates of Rome. So he went to the gates of Rome and he saw Mashiach. And he said, Mashiach, when are you coming? And he said, today. So we went back to Jerusalem. A day passed and he didn't come. So he said, Elijah told me that he's coming today. Mashiach told me that Elijah that he's coming today. Which is also nice that Rabbi Yeshua could see Elijah every day. And Elijah said, yeah, you didn't read the rest of the verse. King David teaches us, Hayoim im bekolo tishmo. I will come today if you listen to the voice of God. Which means if we get our act together as a human race, then we can bring Mashiach today. But if we keep fighting and we keep being so out to lunch, then Mashiach won't come. He will come in the end, but we want that he should come in peaceful manner, not in a non-peaceful manner. Which country Murthan is asking? He could be from anywhere. Where are you writing from? I would like to know. He's in your country right now.
In Turkey.
Turkey. It could be. It's very nice that you're writing from Turkey. It could be that he could come from Turkey. Mashiach could come from anywhere. Kaputkia. It could be that Mashiach could come from anywhere. Mashiach is a human being. It's important to point out, not just a concept. Mashiach is a human being who will be the greatest leader that the world has ever seen. He'll be a political genius, and he'll be a man of peace. And it says that Mashiach...
Will he fix the economy?
He'll fix the economy. And all the economists will believe that it's Mashiach, because every economist knows, you fix the money, you fix the world. Everybody knows that. You fix the money, we have a major crypto yid in the room here. Economist. You fix the money, you fix the world. We all know that. So much of the challenges we're going through as humanity right now is that we're in debt slavery. There's major problems with the economy. And people don't feel like they can get ahead. If you could help give people financial independence again, you start building up a human being. So Mashiach will be a political, economical, social, spiritual, musical genius that will come. And as my favorite, he has many names, Mashiach, but one of them is the Pelioids. He'll be the greatest advisor the world has ever seen. And it says when Mashiach comes, we start losing free will. Why is that? Because Mashiach starts teaching you. Do you think you getting angry at your wife is bringing the world in a positive direction? And he starts explaining how anger is so detrimental to your well-being and your blood pressure that it becomes so obvious that through being a patient person, that humanity will go in a more positive direction, that we start losing our free will systematically.
I'm very, wow. So fix the comment. I'm very excited.
Fix the economy. You're excited for that one?
Very excited. Maybe she doesn't know.
Oh, Morty Milgram. My day is made. Thank you so much for writing. Caleb is asking about Zion. I don't see the question. The shield of Abraham, we're going to try to find that, is fortified through what practice? I would say that the shield of Abraham is fortified through being kind. Through being kind and through learning the deeper part of life, bless you, which is connecting to the essence of your soul. I'm trying to find Southern Sass. Thank you for connecting. Hello from Germany. Zion is a mountain in the wilderness where the eagles fly and not located in the middle of a city. Why does the Zion not match the description? I'd like you to share the Zion that you're speaking about, Caleb, and which verse you're referring to so we could go into that more in depth. Maybe we could do a whole shiur on the verse that you're referring to. Not good to be alone. What level is the alone? Oh, Chaim Raphael. It says that Hashem is alone. Because really, Ein Od Milvado, Hashem is the ultimate alone. There is an element that I learned to be alone. That's what it means, Vayavasa Yaakov Levadoi. But there, Chaim Raphael, the aloneness of Yaakov Avinu was that he was alone with Hashem. So it's good. If it's that type of alone, then it's good. Nice hearing people from Melbourne. Thank you so much for writing. So Mirthan's asking, then comes the Msiah to save the Jews. Msiah is here to help the whole world. Caleb wants to send a PDF. So let's try to find a way to send that. Baron, what is my favorite thing to do? I would say learn Torah and spend time with my wife and kids. It's important, Mirthan, that we're into all of humanity. Mashiach is not here just to save the Jewish people. Mashiach is here to help all of humanity. I like to liken it to like a captain of a ship. Is that the ship is just trying to get to a destination with all the members on board. The captain was just given certain training to be able to steer the ship to get to the desired destination. And Nikki?
If AI reaches a certain level of capability that it's able to solve everything for us, and then we rely on it, how can we know if that is Mashiach or if it is some trick?
It's a good question. I would say that important to point out is that AI is not a neshama. AI is a mastery of essentially the nefesh. The nefesh means all of the thought processes and computing, even the intuition of it, is only based on nefesh intuition. It's not based on neshama. The neshama is able to how do you say it? Transcend, excuse me. The neshama transcends all the thought processes of this world. The neshama goes to the higher spiritual worlds. Even the AI that you'll tell me is going to take me somewhere to Venus or Jupiter or wherever, and will teach me the technology to get there and teach me the technology of solving problems, still won't have soul. Won't have soul. We're talking about a consciousness that's going to not only fix the basic problems of the world, but it's going to allow, and this is something that I wrote the president a letter about, where I said, once we fix all the problems, and all the wars are stopped, and all of the economy's fixed, and there's no more weaponization of the justice system. Like once we fix those problems, so what comes next? We're just all going around in our Maybach yachts. We're all rich. Dig up the liquid gold, Bobby. Just dig up the leave me the liquid gold, Bobby. So, okay, shkoyach. So we're all wealthy. There's no more problems. So I said to the president, I said, it's very, very important is that where humanity is going next is that we connect to our creator, sustainer. The creator sustainer is above the world of just problem solving. So that's a very, very important point, is that that's really what the Jewish people want to bring to humanity, is after we have peace in the world, and after we have tremendous wealth and health filling the land, the next is that we want to know where we come from. We want to be able to connect our soul to the soul of creation. And I said, Mr. President, if you do that, you will be the GOAT, mamish.
But then what will we need Mashiach for if AGI solves everything for us?
So what Mashiach will be the ultimate connecting point that will not just speak to us from problem-solving perspectives, but will speak to our souls. Speak to our souls. Brown family, is it possible to fix all their problems? We could fix the problems of the world. That's what we're here to do. When will Mashiach come? Soon. We hope today. B'ezrat Hashem. Okay, B'ezrat Hashem, my dear friends. We'll have to continue next time. It's always a pleasure to have this time together. Everybody who's writing, share where you're from. Share your questions. Mirz Hashem. We want to just be here to share with the world. I really appreciate when people share that all over the world they are connecting to Torah learning, that Torah learning was a gift that came down into the world in order for us to connect our souls to higher consciousness, that we could essentially live in this world in a higher conscious state. And therefore we're here to share the great wisdom that Hashem gave us through the Torah. And B'ezrat Hashem, we're hoping that we're going to be able to learn together with Mashiach in person. All those that are writing, looking forward to hopefully growing together and sharing more. And really, it's much appreciated to hear from people's hearts, their feelings, what is on their mind, what's in their heart, that we could bring humanity in a positive direction. We should have tremendous blessing, all of us. Looking forward to continuing next time.